Hey everybody, this is a short video about how to judge when you are watching a debate. And so this is specifically for our migration debates that we are getting ready to do. And so during a debate, what happens is there is a specific amount of time that each person gets to speak. At the beginning, people are going to rock, paper, scissors, and either the person who wins or loses, depending on what the teacher tells you, is going to get to choose whether they want to be pro or con. And so what's going to happen is no matter what, speaker one is always the positive, always the pro speaker. And so this kind of shows you what the 5-minute debate is going to look like. So in the first minute, that is all speaker one, and nobody else is going to be speaking during that time. If they can't fill that time, they literally will sit there until that 1 minute is done. Then the con speaker will have a chance to speak for a minute. And during that time, they're kind of making their first case. They can do a little bit of trying to have a counter argument here, but they're really trying to make their case. Then speaker one is going to get to speak again, and the second time that they speak, they're specifically trying to kind of like take apart the con argument, and they're trying to show why their argument is stronger. Then speaker two is going to get to speak for another minute. Again, during that minute, they're trying to kind of take down everything that speaker one has said in both of their turns speaking and really prove why their stance is correct. And then the last time that speaker two gets to speak, it's a 30-second wrap up. And so what they're trying to do during that time is really recap everything they've said in their first and second time speaking. And then the last 30 seconds, speaker one gets to go again, and they're doing the same thing. They're trying to wrap up everything that they've said in their first and second time speaking and really show why what they're saying is correct. Well, during this whole time, as a judge, you need to be tracking what's being said. And so that's really the only way to make sure that your judgment at the end is going to be worthwhile or valid. And so what happens down here is this is what your judging sheet looks like. During the actual debate, you're only going to be paying attention to this front sheet. You're going to put your name, and then you're going to put whoever the person is who chooses to be pro here, and whoever is con is going to be here. And so as the timer starts and this 1 minute begins, you're writing only in this first box. And as you're writing, you're trying to track, okay, what claim is it that they are making? What kinds of evidence are they showing? What kinds of reasoning is clear here? And again, this is not a worksheet. So every good argument should have claim, evidence, and reasoning all the way through it. However, that doesn't mean that that's what everybody is necessarily going to have. And so you'll notice that there's like, I skipped reasoning here because they gave a statistic but didn't explain how it related. This one, they didn't give any evidence, but they were talking about something kind of different where they were trying to explain what was going on. And so that's what you're tracking here. Again, you'll only be writing in this box during that first minute. It will feel very fast, so you do not have to write in complete sentences or make it super long and involved, but you do need to have enough information that you can go back and kind of figure out what happened. Then during that second minute when speaker two is speaking, that's when you're going to be writing down in this box down here. Again, this is for the con case. Again, you're trying to track their claim, their evidence, their warrant if they have it. And so you can see here that I even wrote a note to myself, like there wasn't any evidence going on here. I'm not really sure. This is your sheet and where you can write down notes. These are going to be collected so that we can see what you've done as you were judging, but I don't want you to be worried about filling in every single blank. Again, you're just trying to track what's going on. If somebody has time and can do more than one claim in this space, you can even draw a line either down at the bottom, or maybe if they only had 2 pieces of evidence, you could draw a line here and add their second claim. Then, during the second time that a person gets to speak, so the second time speaker one is speaking, that's what is called a rebuttal. And during that time, they're trying to take down that speaker two's argument. Well, that's what goes in the second box here. Again, you're trying to track, is there a claim? Is that claim opposing the first claim mentioned by speaker two? And then what all did they do? So did they have statistics? Did they have other pieces of reasoning and evidence, things along those lines, and that's what goes in that box. Again, it's going to go fast. This one's a little more blank just so that you can write down whatever it is that you're hearing, and again, you're trying to track. During this minute right here is speaker two's rebuttal, And again, that's going to happen in this box down here. You just want to make sure that you're tracking everything that you can. And then speaker 2 actually gets to go again to do their final focus or their final wrap up. That goes in this box over here. And then during the last 30 seconds is again speaker 1, and that's going to be here. And again, what you're trying to do, as this example shows, is track what is happening during the debate. Well, when that is finished and the debate is over, that's when you're going to flip your sheet over to the other side. And so this is your judging ballot. And so in your opinion, you're going to say the better debating was done by either the pro or the con side. You're going to have reasons for that. So you need to be able to specifically write, and again, this is afterwards. You'll have time to write this when the debate is done. You need to write why. So you'll notice on this one I talked about how there was more evidence that was well cited, which again is reflected up here, and that they were well supported. The counter arguments were also supported with evidence. There's a place where it asks for your thoughts on the topic, and so this is just your perspective on the topic after you've listened to the debate. Ideally, this will change as you go through. And then the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to give 2 positives and 1 suggestion for each debater. Again, you're going to add their names in here, and then the 2 positives need to be things that they did during the debate. Again, we really want to be on the hunt for good pieces of things that they're doing. We really want to build people up during this. And then the suggestion for improvement, please don't say anything that's super negative. Really what you're looking for is, okay, what is one piece of advice that I could give to this debater that might really help them to improve? So it could be about like rearranging claims or making sure to tell where their evidence is coming from. It might be a suggestion to add more claims or spend more time on their reasoning, whatever it happens to be. But you just, to fill all their time, you just want to be specific and kind in what you say. That's how to complete the judging sheet.